The date is August 13, 1906. A baby is held hostage, and the company claims they have a right to kill their passengers, all for not paying a nickel fare. Stay tuned. In 1906, service to Coney Island was provided by the Brooklyn Rapid Transit Company, or BRT. The company increased the fare to Coney Island from 5 to 10 cents, which required conductors to collect an extra nickel from passengers staying on past Neck Road, today a station on the D&Q lines in Brooklyn. For more background on this company and the events that led to their demise and eventual transformation to the company that I really admire, the Brooklyn Manhattan Transit Corporation, or BMT, check out my other videos. Meanwhile, back to our story. Many passengers refused to pay the extra fare. The company sent out its police force, and the tactics were, to say the least, brutal. Let's read. Edward Traynor of number 12 Reed Avenue, Brooklyn, refused to pay an extra fare at Coney Island this afternoon at Neck Road and Gravesend Avenue. 6 inspectors picked him up bodily and hurled him from the platform of the car to a ditch in the roadside. He landed on his back, sustained severe internal injuries, and was taken to the emergency hospital, Coney Island, suffering intensely. A woman with a baby in her arms refused to pay the extra fare. A sweaty inspector with dirty hands snatched her baby from her arms and announced that he would keep the kid until she paid her fare. She paid. Policemen at that point, although frequent outrages were perpetrated under their eyes, refused to arrest employees of the BRT. They were practically at work for the BRT, for the brutal assaults committed by the employees were laughed at by the guardians of the peace. Disgraceful scenes of violence, unchecked by the police, were precipitated this afternoon and evening by uniformed and plainclothes police in the pay of the Brooklyn Rapid Transit Company at points on the way to Coney Island where attempts were made to collect the second fare. The orders issued early in the day by Deputy Commissioner O'Keefe, commanding police officers to protect passengers from brutality, were smilingly ignored. At times, it was hard to tell whether the uniformed policemen stationed in the second fare points to protect citizens were working for the people or the BRT. Riotous scenes and repeated assaults upon defenseless passengers, abetted by uniformed policemen, threatened to produce a tragedy unless someone should step in and take charge of the situation. "Kill him," yelled Colonel Timothy Roberts of the legal department of the BRT to 5 inspectors who were beating Jacob Greenblatt of number 46 Chester Street, Brooklyn, at Gravesend Avenue and Neck Road this afternoon. Greenblatt, a well-dressed, well-mannered young fellow, had refused to pay the extra fare. The inspectors were pounding Greenblatt with their fists and kicking him. But they were not vehement enough to satisfy Colonel Roberts, who dashed into the crowd, seizing the cowering passenger, grabbed him by the throat, and dragged him to the gutter. There he threw him down on his back, knelt on his chest, and choked him until he was almost insensible. When Colonel Roberts, who appeared to be half crazy with rage, led Greenblatt up, the man dropped in a dead faint. Sergeant Callahan, who was on hand with 20 policemen under explicit orders to protect passengers from brutality, instead of arresting Colonel Roberts, arrested Greenblatt. Quote, "My men have a right to kill anybody who refuses to pay the fare, and the courts would sustain them," yelled Colonel Roberts to an Evening World reporter. Information reached Borough President Kohler this afternoon that BRT management was contemplating the discontinuance of Coney Island service. Mr. Kohler is responsible for the report, which appears to be so utterly foolish that it received little credence. Mr. Kohler was also of the opinion that the BRT was seeking to arrest him on a charge of inciting a riot and creating disorder. In spite of the protests, the double fare to Coney Island remained in place until the BRT entered into contract with the City of New York to expand its system and become a subway operator as part of the dual contracts of 1913. This is one of a series of videos that will bring you the good, the bad, and the ugly of New York City's transit history. If you like this video and would like to see more, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.